Sports reporting. It's a 15-yard penalty. First down. You know nothing about sports.
Nuts prod not the beat.
You know nothing about sports.
Right back at you.
As usual, we're back in the house again, America. Welcome.
Trying to convince ourselves that we know a little bit about football, but I don't.
I don't know,
Every
man.
week I get proven wrong.
Hey, look, we started out with a bang. You know, the K-Man was on or something, you were on or something. And all of a sudden we just hit the curb and went down.
Crazy, man.
In week one, I said the Super Bowl matchup would be between the Philadelphia Eagles and the LA Chargers. I know nothing.
How's that looking right now?
I know nothing. Nothing.
Yeah, it's not looking too good.
Nope.
Nah, it's not. But I mean, you know, we're gonna continue doing our best to try to educate you, listening, and ourselves.
Yep.
All right,
And if it's not education, it's entertainment. So
all right,
Pretty much.
sit back and relax.
the first topic. Everybody's been talking about it, man. The Rams, Jags, Ramsey, Peter trilogy. If I can call it a trilogy, I guess. But this is all. This whole little situation is weird, man. In this K-Man, you kind of touched on it earlier in a couple of episodes, where the players are trying to take control of their own destiny. So, K-Man, I give you the first crack at it. I already say this is unusual and weird. What do you think about this whole little situation?
Well, it's not like the NBA. The NBA, I know a lot of people like, oh, the NFL players are trying to be like the NBA players. No, they're just trying to get out of their current situation. NBA players are like reshaping organizations. NFL players ain't got that much control yet. They're just trying to get out of their current situation for various reasons. Jalen Ramsey he just wanted out of
Jacksonville.
out of Jacksonville. And he goes to LA, and he has a better chance to do something this year. But I saw something online. That first game check, he's going to know the difference between being in Jacksonville and being in LA. Those California taxes.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And this is something that's going to come up in the collective bargaining agreement. The NFLPA and its players are going to try to gain more control, and the NFL owners, which have they done since for the last 100 years, are going to try to keep the control. So it's going to be an interesting little fight. But if you are a star in the NFL, and I loosely mean that because a lot of people are not stars, because mainly the stars are the quarterbacks. Whatever power that you have, exert as much as you can. Because he's not going to LA, he's not going there to get commercials because nobody know who he is. He still wears a helmet, and there's nothing flashy about him. So,
Well, the only thing that he has going for him as far as like public exposure is when he went on that tangent last offseason talking about all the quarterbacks that were bad, including the one that he's now teammates with. He said he was average. So yeah. But I was shocked at the trade. I didn't think he was going to move. I didn't think the Jaguars were going to really going to move him. But that being said, I don't know what the Rams are thinking.
no.
Giving up. That was if I was gonna put that type of package together, me personally, I would have went after Chris Harris Jr. He's a better player to me. He talks less, plays more. He's more consistent. My last view of Jalen Ramsey, because I hadn't watched the Jaguars in a couple weeks. My last view of Jalen Ramsey was on Thursday Night Football, getting toasted by Tennessee Titans receivers.
Yes.
So you got the Rams gave up first round pick 2020 draft, first round pick 2021 draft, and a fourth round pick in the 2021 draft. That's way too much. I get what they're trying to do, and I get who their defensive coordinator is. They're trying to give him toys because he does better work with better players. He's not the type of defensive coordinator that can take slums and bums and turn them into good players.
Mm.
But I like to trade more for Jacksonville.
I'm gonna tell you like this, man. If y'all look at the fine print, Jalen Ramsey doesn't have a new contract with the Rams yet, so he has to prove himself. Then I understand what both teams were doing. Jacksonville is trying to get rid of this problem out of their locker room so they can go forward. On the flip side, the Rams looked at their defense because Talib going down, right? He got hurt or something, right?
Yeah.
So they're looking at that. So, okay, look, Talib is going down. We got to bring another elite guy in a kind of a lockdown corner to help us out because we've been getting kind of toasted on the back end.
But that's the thing. He's not a lockdown corner.
First of all, there's no such thing as that in the NFL due to rules.
Right. And trading for Jalen Ramsey is not going to magically give you a pass rush. Trading for Jalen Ramsey is not going to magically make your offensive line block better, which they've been horrible at this year. Trading for Jalen Ramsey is not going to make Jared Goff be a better quarterback because he's been average this year, as Jalen Ramsey called him last offseason. So that's why I don't like to trade. Like I could see if this is a move you make if you're one piece away.
Yes.
That defense is a few pieces away from being good again. They're not good right now. And so they gave up too much. They got too many holes. They got too many other holes.
And another thing, that's the kind of move you make for Deion Sanders.
Right.
Like lockdown, but also a star.
Right.
He's going to draw seats because that game versus, the Rams versus the 49ers, there were more 49ers fans in that stadium than there were Rams fans. And those two LA teams got problem drawing because they don't have stars. Like, Aaron Donald is a football star, but he's not a star.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you, this is what I think y'all are seeing it wrong. These two franchises, right, Jacksonville and the Los Angeles Rams, they were both at the beginning of the season on paper were good teams. Now all of a sudden, injury here, getting burnt down here. Everyone's in panic mode. So that's why they had to hurry up and do this. They had to do something to okay, we're in panic mode. We got to do something.
Those are the worst decisions.
That's why they made the decision, to go with this trade. We got to do something. Something has to be not done now. We're still early on in the season.
I get what you're saying, but those are the worst decisions ever made. Spontaneous, fly by the seat of your pants decisions just for the heck of it. Me personally, I thought they were smarter than this than to make a move like this when they got so many other issues on that team.
But Sean's right. It is a panic move. Look at the division. One team's undefeated. The other team has one loss. They are down looking up. So it is. I don't think the move will help them. And the problem with them is I don't remember the last time they had a first round pick. I mean, they're doing the exact opposite what they used to do with Jeff Fisher. Jeff Fisher used to accumulate first round picks. Now, he didn't know how to coach them, but that's neither here nor there. Now you have Sean McVay giving away first round picks, and I just don't see it because, as you stated, Brandon, Jalen Ramsey is not going to help you block the San Francisco 49ers defensive front.
Absolutely not.
Jalen Ramsey is not coming over there with a two magic knees for Todd Gurley.
Right.
Jalen Ramsey is not coming over with a real number one wide receiver for Jared Goff to throw to. So
Right.
that is
Well-
a big haul they gave away for an individual who's is not gonna, they got a lot of holes, and he's just one
They do.
band-aid for like 4 more different holes they have.
And I
Right.
and I know y'all say he's not a lockdown corner, but let's take a minute and look at the receivers that are in that division. Give me two good receivers on the teams on two different teams in that division.
T.Y. Hilton.
Oh no, you're talking about
No,
the
we're talking about for the Rams.
Oh, you talking about the Rams? Oh,
Yeah, KB.
They're all-
Ooh.
they're the most dangerous ones are on Seattle's roster.
Yeah,
true, very true. You got a very raw DK Metcalf.
DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett.
Yeah,
I mean, I can't name one Arizona Cardinals receiver outside of Larry Fitzgerald.
yeah.
Who does the 49ers have?
Good one.
Goodwin,
yeah.
Marquise Goodwin. That's it.
Yeah,
And Kittle, but he's not a wide receiver.
yeah, and good one's just fast.
Right. He's a poor man's Tyler Lockett.
Yeah,
And look, in that case, I just made a statement for y'all. There aren't really any top receivers in that, not too many, but so why did the Rams take him?
the only thing I could think of is the Rams took him because they believe they're going to turn it around, and they might need him on Mari Cooper if the Cowboys make the playoffs, or they might need him on, or they need him. Hilarious. They need him on Alshon.
Oh, Michael
Jeffrey.
Thomas.
Oh yeah, Michael Thomas.
Yeah.
So that's the only. Or maybe Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
I'm-
Cowboys are not making the playoffs, but I'll get to that later.
I'm just curious to see how this is going to play out, man. All right. So I don't know whose idea this was, but I thought when I looked at it today, that's why if you look at your notes, man, I put the teams in there. I said this is kind of interesting because I know Brandon, you said the NFC team. So I said let's take it a whole other level. Let's do the NFL. So if you look at your notes, let's out of those bottom ones, what teams out of in the NFL in each conference, B-Wig, you think are not going to make the playoffs?
Well, I mean, we know the obvious ones. We know the Bengals aren't making the playoffs. We know the Dolphins aren't making the playoffs. I'll even go as far as saying the Tennessee Titans won't make the playoffs because they have quarterback controversy.
Do they? Is it a
Kinda,
quarterback controversy? Is it
Yeah,
a quarterback
'cause
controversy?
They put
Kind of
Tannehill in.
because, and he's gonna probably come out this week and stink it up, and then they're gonna be like, maybe we should go back to Marcus. There's a quarterback controversy, not on a large scale, but there is. The Chargers, I want to believe they're gonna turn it around, but I can't.
They've done it 2 years in a row, though.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I fully expect the teams that aren't even on the list, Jets not making it. The Jaguars aren't making it.
But here's the thing. We're talking about the ones that might miss it.
That
So you
might
saying
miss it.
You saying the
At the
Chargers have a
bottom?
chance?
Okay, so all right. So the ones that might miss the playoffs, the good ones that might miss the playoffs. Buffalo might miss the playoffs, just because of a numbers game. They won't win their division. They're gonna have to get in via wild card. There's a lot of competition for that. There's gonna be a lot of competition for that wild card spot. On the well, I'm just looking at the standings now. They actually might not have that much competition for that wild card spot.
No,
But that's just on the AFC. That's just on the AFC side. On the NFC side, whoever does not win the NFC East will not make the playoffs. You're looking at 3 teams potentially.
Yeah.
They have a chance they have a chance in the NFC North. But I mean, the NFC is it's really there's only two really bad teams in the NFC. Well, three. The Falcons, the Buccaneers, and the Redskins.
The Cardinals stink too. Don't let them 2 wins fool you. The eyes
They
have showed me they stink.
they
They
stink,
have
but they're
no
not.
talent.
They stink, but they're not like silent fart stink like the Redskins.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I give you that one.
Yeah.
So what you think, K man? Who might miss the playoffs, K man?
All right. So from the AFC side, we're talking about adequate teams or good teams that might miss.
No, I'm talking about teams that right now they look like we don't know yet, but if we can get the right people and get the right mindset, we can make this playoff as a wild card, basically.
All right. On the AFC side, there's only one team that I believe who fits that category, and that is the LA Chargers. They have enough talent and they've done it before. They can turn it around, but they might miss it. And I'll get into later why they might miss it in my things that stood out. That's it. That's it. I never believed in Cleveland, Pittsburgh. That's a show. Um, I believe that from the AFC it's going to be Kansas City, the 2 South teams, the Ravens, and the Bills and the Patriots. So from the NFC, it's harder because exactly right, Brandon. There's only like 2 bad teams. Teams that are good or could miss the playoffs. You have Carolina could miss it. Chicago could miss it. The defending NFC championship champions, Rams, they could miss it. I mean, it's going to be harder. I know sometimes in the first 4 weeks you're uneven because you're just coming out of training camp and everything like that. But this year doesn't seem like to be the year to come out uneasy. This is the year that you need to essentially be like this 49ers and take advantage of your schedule because you're going to need those wins in November and December because it might be too far and few between.
And look,
so that's why
I agree with y'all about the Chargers in the AFC. They have the personnel. I think they have the coaching. I think they just had a couple of bad breaks in some of the games that I saw. I think they can turn it around and make it as a wild card. Now, and you're right again. Both of y'all are right about the NFC. It's a lot harder because the team that I think can do it is for some reason the Detroit Lions, man. Seriously. I really think if they can get their plays together, because their defense has been keeping them in the games.
You give them a better shot than the Bears?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Y'all got me thinking about Trouble Bisky.
Oh, yes, I did. Yes, yeah. I think I give them a better shot than the Bears. Because there might come a time somewhere during the season where that locker room might split her because the Bears defense is like, all right, look, we keep putting you out of games, but y'all not doing anything.
Right.
Yeah. You see, I said
and
the
then
same thing.
And then someone's gonna go, and then somebody's gonna go, man, we could have had Deshaun Watson. Man, we could have had Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
Now we over here with Mitch.
I said the same thing about the Lions, man, because just like Aaron Rodgers found out, Green Bay barely won that game because the Lions were playing so much man coverage. They would disguise it as zone. The next thing you know, when you look at it, it's man to man. Then when you think they're playing man to man, a linebacker drop off into a zone. But
right. I mean, I give Matt Patricia his credit on the defensive side.
He's a coordinator.
I don't have any faith in his overall ability to head coach a team.
And Matt LaFleur, that record, I know they say they're 5-1. They don't look 5-1.
They should not. They should not be 5-1.
They don't look 5-1.
They should be 3-3.
Yeah. And everybody's making a big deal. Oh, Aaron Rodgers is back. You know, the Magic Man. The bad man, Aaron Rodgers. I I would pump my brakes just a little bit. I mean, they look. He looks like he's in mid-season form, but I don't know. They got a tough schedule coming up.
They
Yeah.
do, and I'm gonna tell you, man. You know what amazes me when and to me it's funny when I'm watching Aaron Rodgers in the game, man. If you look at him, the dude doesn't smile. He looks like he's just going, hey, okay, let's call next play. Come on. The most I've seen him do is score a touchdown, and it was a long touchdown. He did a little fist and walked off the field looking like a porn star in a football helmet. But
Right.
But he's trying to do that, I'm even, I'm never too high, never too low type thing. And, that works for some people. That it doesn't work. I don't know. Sometimes you need, not all the time, but sometimes you need that quarterback to go, show emotion, and maybe the team will feed off of it. Because it's a young team. And so he is the grizzled veteran on that team.
All right. So this next topic, man, the top 4 contenders and bottom 4. We're going to scratch the bottom 4. So what we're going to do is look at the top 4. Now, my question to you, B-Wig, based on this top 4 right now, do you think all 4 of these teams make the playoffs?
In the list you sent?
Yeah, in the AFC.
No. Oh, the AFC?
Mm-hmm. The Patriots, Ravens, Texans, and Chiefs.
Yeah, I mean, even though Indianapolis they're kind of keeping pace with Houston. I don't know, because I like the Colts better. I like the Colts coaching staff better than I do Houston.
Oh, so what you're saying, B-Wig, is the Colts might be one of those teams that might miss the playoffs.
No, the Texans. Oh, you're saying like one of those head teams. Yeah, they could, but I feel like with the AFC South, I feel the same way about them as I do the NFC East. Whoever doesn't win the division is going to miss the playoffs. That's how I feel about that division. As far as the other teams, the Patriots, the Ravens, the Chiefs, I fully expect those 3 to make the playoffs.
All right, K-Man, what you think about those AFC top 4? You think they'll make the playoffs, K-Man?
Let me go.
Here we go. Here it comes.
The Patriots. Yeah. The Ravens. Yeah. The Chiefs. Yeah. The Texans. Who coaches the Texans?
But
nice Irish boy.
K-Man, I'm gonna tell you, man, on social media and the news, a lot of other coaches, former NFL players have been giving O'Reilly props.
Yeah, players don't know anything. Look, now here's what I say. They have such a good quarterback. They have such a young, good quarterback. I don't think he can even mess this up. But he'll try. Oh, he will try. So as of right now, I see that top 4 staying only for the simple fact Jacoby Brissett has still not to show me what he can do. And the Indianapolis Colts are a solid team, but he needs to take needs to take one step up, and then I'll change my decision in the quickness. But right now, the Texas defense is playing good, not great, good. The offense is good, and so right now I think they maintain it.
All right. So I got one more little twist. It's a surprise for y'all. Since y'all kind of agree with those first 4, K-Man, give me your 2 wild cards.
2 wild cards. Oh, that's easy. The Buffalo Bills and the Indianapolis Colts. I'm not like Brandon. I don't think the winner, the AFC South, are only going to send 2 teams. One team. I think they will send 2 teams. I think the AFC West is only going to send 1. The NFC and the AFC North is only going to send 1.
All right, B-Wig. Who would your 2 wild card be, B-Wig?
Oh, I got a curveball for y'all. One is Buffalo. Y'all ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
My other one's Oakland.
What?
I told you. My other one's
Boy, you
Oakland.
gotta explain that one.
Listen, look at Oakland's 3-2, right? They have the Packers coming up Sunday. Listen to their remaining schedule. At the Texans, the Lions, the Chargers, the Bengals, the Jets, the Chiefs, the Titans, Jaguars, the Chargers, the Broncos. You don't think they might be able to eke out
5 or 6 of those? Yeah, I was
six
thinking
out of
that.
those?
No.
You know, the Lions is a winnable game. The Chargers
No,
is
no,
a
no,
winnable
no.
game.
All those games are winnable, but you asked me, do you think they're going to eke out? And I said, no. I've seen them.
No. Right, and I have too. But keep in mind what the title of this podcast is.
You know.
Hey, that's a little jokey thing, but there's some things I know. I know Oakland has a fraud for a head coach,
Yeah,
and
just
I know
like
Houston has a fraud like a head coach.
just like all of us knew that the Cowboys were going to beat the Jets Sunday. Yeah, all of us knew that. We all knew that, right? Yeah. So
Hey, it's not my fault that Darnold came around and kissed your whole goddamn team, and all y'all had mono.
All right.
yeah.
All right, so
But I mean, the Colts would be my 2B. The Raiders are my 2A for that second wild card spot. The Colts would be my 2B.
all right, check it out. So let's flip it to the NFC side. So I'm gonna start with you first, K-Man. Those top 4 NFC teams, do you see them making the playoffs?
I don't see the Cowboys making the playoffs. I don't. And the rest of them, I see them making the playoffs for the simple fact they took advantage of their schedule. Because I'm starting to come around on the 49ers, but my judgment of them was low. So it's from the basement to the second floor. What am I thinking with them right now? The Saints, when Drew Brees comes back and when Kamara comes back, it's going to be good. We already discussed it before. I am not liking what I'm seeing from the Packers, but they're 5-1, and that helps them. So, the Cowboys. I look at them and I'm just like, but then again, I think about the Eagles and I'm like, so it's just, I don't. The Cowboys are not going to make any trades.
Nope.
During before October 29th, but the Eagles will. So I don't know what they will look like, and the Eagles also have injuries. So right now, yeah.
All right, so B-Wig, before I flip it to the wild card stuff, so B-Wig, these top 4, you think they're going to make the playoffs?
Nope. Cowboys not. I
That's the
mean,
only one?
our remaining schedule is it's too tough. We got the Giants, we got the Eagles Sunday, the Giants after that. Then we got the Vikings, the Lions, the Patriots, the Bills, the Bears, the Rams, the Eagles. We're not making the playoffs. That's a murderer's row if there ever was one. I don't see us making the playoffs. We probably finished. I got us finishing something maybe like 6-10, 7-9, something like that.
Go back to that schedule again. What was it again?
We got the Eagles next.
Okay.
The Giants after that.
When?
And then the Vikings.
Where?
At the Lion. In Dallas.
That's a toss up.
Mm-hmm.
At the Lions.
When?
At the Patriots.
Loss.
Versus the Bills.
Where?
In Dallas.
Toss up.
Mm-hmm.
At the Bears.
Yeah. It's still a toss up because of who the quarterback is.
It depends. If it's in December like that and it's cold in Chicago, which it will be, that might be a tough one for y'all.
Versus the Rams in Dallas after that.
That's a toss-up. You got a bunch of toss-ups.
Yeah.
At the Eagles.
But at the Rams is not really at the Rams. It's,
No, it's in Dallas.
Okay.
All right.
At the Eagles.
So okay, so all right. So y'all say we got a lot of toss-ups. What's the common denominator in all of those games?
Yeah, never mind.
Thank you. Thank you.
Jason Garrett?
Yes.
When it goes to toss-ups, it goes down to coaching, and yeah.
What has he shown you over these first 6 weeks to make him think he can win? He can go out and win any of those games.
6 weeks. How long has he been your head coach?
A decade.
Well,
It's really been a decade?
You came out the gate strong.
It's been a decade. This is a decade. Yeah. Yeah. Let that sink in.
He got pictures of Jerry.
Yeah. I sound like Shannon Sharp. Yeah.
He got dirt. He got dirt on the Jones family. 10 years?
Yeah, he got something.
10 years, bro.
All right, let me flip it. So, Kate, man, I'll flip it back to you. Who are your 2 wild cards from the NFC?
Now that's way more tougher. In the NFC, wild cards. Wow. Seattle.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
I'm torn between Carolina and Minnesota. I'm torn between those two.
You see, I'm torn between the Lions and the Vikings. All right, B-Wig, who you think are going to be who you pick for your 2 wild card from the NFC?
Definitely the second place finisher in the NFC West. I won't say who that team is because I don't know.
Yeah, sure.
The second place finisher in the NFC West, and I like Carolina. I trust. I trust Ron Rivera.
That's it.
More than I do Mike Zimmer. I mean, it's not a lot to go off of, but at the end of the day, that's just how I feel about it. And then I don't know. You say going with Kyle Allen. You don't know which Kirk Cousins is going to show up week in and week out.
Now, that's funny. Y'all wild with that. When somebody else, I heard somebody in the media say that.
Yeah, and also, what if Cam comes back and is healthy and plays like he did last year?
Right.
With better weapons and a more stable defense. That could be a problem. That could be a real problem. So
one could even argue, and for some this might be a stretch, but one could even argue that Ron Rivera could be doing a better coaching job than one Sean Payton. Sean Payton has a starting caliber quarterback, albeit a backup. He's
a first round starting caliber quarterback, and at one time was viewed as a franchise quarterback in Minnesota.
Right. Flip it over to Carolina side. I mean, as many of us left the Saints for dead, nobody but me. Go check the podcast. I think it was week 2. Go check the podcast. Nobody but me said that, or everybody but me said, the Carolina Panthers are done. I said, watch out for them. I do know something about it. Just a little bit about it. Not a lot about it, but a little bit about it.
Wow. All right. So I just want to get y'all take on that, right? So let's talk about what stood out this week. K-Man, what stood out for you?
What stood out for me? I had to write it down. The LA, you know what? No, I'm not doing this. The San Diego Chargers.
Yeah.
We were making fun. We were making fun. It is fun. It is funny because, it's not really a home field advantage. But the last 2 weeks, I mean, come on. If I was a player, it would hurt me. Last week, the week before, it was essentially Mile High West with all that orange in that stadium. How loud they were when the Chargers had the offense. It's awful. Then last week, all those terrible
Dude.
they have no home field advantage. None. They play 16 road games. That will beat you down. That ownership made a terrible mistake. The NFL itself made a terrible mistake going out of San Diego. This is how Phillip Rivers is going to end his career, just beaten down and having to travel 2 hours a week. I mean,
Exactly.
every day from San Diego to LA. It is.
That didn't make any sense to me.
That visual alone stood out to me.
Well, yeah, that's a good one there, Ken. What about for you, B-Wig?
I think the resiliency that Seattle showed in Cleveland to win that game, because that wasn't an easy game.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah.
I think Seattle we knew they were good, and I hate to base this off of last week because it was Cleveland, but I feel like the resiliency they showed, I think they kind of like they're beginning to solidify themselves as, legit contenders in the NFC. I mean, other than that, the other thing that stood out to me is the NFL has a serious, and I mean serious, problem with officiating
Yes.
that they got to do something about quick, fast, in a hurry. Because if you get calls in the playoffs, you get mistakes in the playoffs, like you did Monday. Man, you thought it was bad in New Orleans. I mean, it's week after week. It seems like
thing. That's the
like
thing.
it's a continuing thing. Like it's consistent. Like they're consistently getting a lot of these things wrong, like blatantly wrong
on national TV.
Yeah, on national TV.
It's not even regional games. It's national TV. And
right.
then you go to the other games and you start to see it. And the NFL got an integrity problem going on right now, and they need to fix this.
Yep.
Yeah, that was one of the things that stood out for me, man, was the officiating. And I really think they need to go back during the off season and retrain all the referees, have better referees up in the booth that can review this stuff, train those guys, train the guys at the head place in New York, wherever they have this stuff at. And Roger Goodell needs to say something.
Well, actually, I was listening to a podcast. They said for the last 2 years they had like some kind of program for referees during the summer and educational and everything like that. They stopped it this summer.
You know what?
Wow.
I give you one better, man. I just want to get y'all take on it. I bet you the referees will start getting most of these calls right if we start penalizing them and fining them. Your crew makes 2-3 bad calls, $100,000 fine.
Well,
y'all got everyone pay up.
Yeah, I do agree with that. Now they do get critiqued. Ref teams they do get critiqued because that goes into who they select to work the playoffs. And the Super Bowl. But like you said, if they start hitting the pockets and adding fines to these critiques, then you might be onto something.
Exactly.
And then we might have to start talking about making them full time. I know the NFL wants to make them full time, and the refs don't want to be full time because a lot of them, they got. This is only like 16, 17 weeks for them, 20 weeks at the most. And then they got like jobs, like Hockley for the longest time was a lawyer or something like that.
Yeah.
Right.
His son Sean is a lawyer, but at the same time, man, if you look at some of these referees, and I don't know if you guys paid attention, sometimes you see referees at football games, and you might see these referees at basketball games, NBA basketball games. So I'm like, I don't know if this is true. Do the referees have a union? The president and stuff?
Yeah, they do.
They do. They just signed an agreement before the season on a new, I think it was like a 5-year deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and look,
Yep.
another thing, I'm looking at NFL Network. They're just talking about the referees are like 4 for 38 on these pass interference calls.
Yeah.
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 But that has to go back to how it was last year. I know, what happened last year in the NFC Championship game. We know we'll never forget it. But they gotta go back to not allowing these calls to be challenged.
Yeah. Because you know what makes it bad is that everybody, and I mean all the networks, have their person in New York and LA. So when there's a stop and play and they're reviewing something, they go to Mike Pereira. They go to
Right.
it even got it in college. So I'm just
Let
I
like,
know, right?
Mhm.
so have a like I'm not saying be like hockey where their person they got to go all the way to Toronto to look at a play
Right.
and it delays the game, but y'all got to do
Right.
something better than this.
NBA,
Right.
I think the NBA thing is in Secaucus, but
Yeah.
another
And
question.
that delays the game too. They gotta figure out to put them there in the stadium.
Another thing around that. Then we're gonna go to predictions, man. Another thing around that. I don't think there's a way to correct that because these are human beings making a human call. Now,
Yeah, that's the other aspect of it.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, if there is something, I don't think it should be done on the field. I think it should be done by a replay official somewhere else. They should have a group of replay officials say, "Hey, look, let's stop play. Let us look at it again because that call looked kind of suspect."
Yeah, and that's the thing I was gonna say is I don't think it'll necessarily is like with the NFL. I don't think it'll necessarily help to like have somebody there in the stadium, but I want somebody in front of somebody dedicated in front of a screen, being able to see every angle to make the final decision, like make the final call instead of leaving it up to a guy who saw it live and then he has to go under the hood, or not anymore. He has to go on the tablet and battle his own judgment. It's like I saw this happen live, but now this is. I mean, I would say just have somebody stationed somewhere in front of a screen that can offer the final correct judgment.
Yeah, good point, man. All right, so before we go to predictions, B Wig, you said something kind of funny, man. I was about to laugh, which could be a segment on the show. You said, who make the final call? That could be a segment on the show. Final call.
Hey, why not?
All right, man. Let's go to predictions. All right, so this Thursday night game, I'm gonna start with you, K man. Chiefs and the Broncos. Who you taking, K man?
You know what I'm taking. I'm taking the Kansas City Chiefs. Why? Because if the Broncos win, Elway ain't trading nobody. And we need to build for the future. And no offense, we put ourselves in such a hole. It's too hard to dig out. Even though the AFC is really weak, it's too hard to dig out of. We ain't got the quarterback who can dig us out. Plus, the Chiefs know that they really only have to score about 24 points. Because a Joe Flacco-led offense is not scoring that many points. So I'm going with the Kansas City Chiefs. Yay, top 5 pick.
Who you got, B?
Give me the Denver Broncos. Here's why.
Out of spite?
The book is kind of out on the Chiefs now. Yeah, they lost this 2-game losing streak they're on. They lost to some pretty good defenses. Denver doesn't have that level of defense this year, but Denver can run the ball.
Yeah.
Denver can possess the ball. Running and possessing the ball keeps Patrick Mahomes where? On the bench. Run the ball, make the game longer. You will be able to run the ball because that Chiefs defense is atrocious.
Garbage.
You run the ball. Cortland Sutton, there's nobody on the Chiefs secondary that can cover Cortland Sutton or Emmanuel Sanders for that matter.
Or Deshaun.
So, yeah. So
or
I believe
Noah Fant.
Right. I believe this game. I believe this game comes down to the team that runs the ball the best. The Chiefs really can't run the ball.
No.
The Broncos can. The Broncos of the two bad defenses, the Broncos have the better of the bad defenses. So give me the Broncos.
Yeah, I say Broncos because of the mile high factor, and also, as you can see, they're starting to build a blueprint to beat Patrick Mahomes. But yeah, I'm taking the Broncos. All right. I don't know why I'm gonna say this game. Dolphins at the Bills, man. Who you got, B?
The Bills.
All right, say no more. We can move on. Who you got, K?
We can move on. You know my answer.
That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, everybody taking the Bills. So, all right. Rams at the Falcons, man. Who you got, K, man?
Rams.
Even in Atlanta?
Unfortunately, Dan Quinn is going to get fired.
Mm-hmm.
And the Rams and the Rams, they're desperate because once again, we said it before, they're on the ground looking up, and they need to start piling up wins.
Who you got, B?
Dan Quinn is going to get fired, but it won't be after this game. Give me the Falcons.
Oh, he went through a curveball.
What better way to baptize Jalen Ramsey than to have him go up against Julio at home?
Oh, that's a good matchup there. Okay.
Give me the Falcons.
Oh, all right. I'm taking the Rams because, like I said, I never picked the Falcons. But anyway, all right. So this game is interesting, man. The Vikings at the Lions. Who you got, B?
I take the Vikings.
What?
Yeah, I don't think they can mess this up.
No case of the Kingdoms?
No. I like the Vikings.
Ah. All right, K, man, who you got?
I like the Vikings, but it's not going to be close. It's going to be a very close game.
Well, I'll be the lone wolf. I'm taking the Lions, man. I'm telling you. All right. This game, and look, I know Kyle Shanahan's probably going to love putting a whooping on these dudes. Who you got between the 49ers and the Skins? Okay, man.
So I saw this quote. It's an article that's on ESPN. It came out today. It's, I guess, the ESPN Nation Bay Area person. So it starts off like this. Shanahan served as the Washington Redskins offensive coordinator from 2010 to 2013, working with his father, Mike, who was the head coach. On Wednesday, Shanahan was asked what was his favorite part in his time in Washington. And he says, being able to work with my dad and be around other good coaches. You know who they. What was the worst part? Everything. He is going to drop 50 on them. It is not going to be pretty.
All right, who you got, B?
Need I even say? 49ers, man.
I think Joey Bosa gonna have a field day, but
Look,
Butler,
hold on. You guys are in that area. What is the vibe been like amongst Redskins fans after Sunday?
You know the vibes been around Redskins fans. There are none. They're all with the Nats right now.
Hey, look, I was just gonna say I haven't heard anybody brag or anything.
I haven't heard nothing.
Nothing.
It has been about the Nats.
That's why I asked that question.
And to a lesser extent, the Washington Mystics.
Oh
Exactly.
my God.
I haven't heard anything, man, from nobody.
Nothing.
Not even people on the PRE.
Washington sports is making the Wizards and the Redskins look so bad.
Oh.
I mean, you got the Capitals a year and a half off of a Stanley Cup. The Mystics just won their first title. The Nats are in contention. They're in the World Series, and then you got the Redskins.
Yeah, the Redskins and the Wizards, huh?
The only thing I heard that was slightly about the Redskins was a shot when they look at the Nats and they went over the chronological order of how they came to DC in 05 and then all the mistakes and all the losing, and then 09 they promoted their top scout to their general manager, and he's been a general manager for 10 years, and what he's done these past 10 years, and someone goes, see what happens when you have a real good general manager? That's the only thing I've heard about the Redskins. Only thing I've heard.
Oh, All right, man. So we got the this game is kind of interesting too, man. The Jags at the Bengals. Who you got, B?
Give me the Jags.
Mm.
I think the Bengals are I think the Bengals are tanking now.
All right. Who you got, K, man?
I got the Bengals. They are tanking, but they don't want to go over, so they want to at least get a win or two. So I got the Bengals. They're in the, if the Dolphins are tanking for Tua, they're going for Herbert.
Yeah, I think Andy Dalton time should be up, man. Although Andy Dalton, like he looks like he's a pretty good quarterback, man. I'm not sure. I haven't watched him enough.
I said it earlier in the year. I'd love to have him as a backup next year.
Wow. All right. This game is Cardinals at the Giants. Who you got, K, man?
The Cardinals, because the Giants don't have no offense without Saquon.
Well, but hey, he's supposed to be back.
Cardinals.
All right. Who you got, B?
I like the Cardinals. I like
give the Giants no love, man.
Nah, I mean,
Daniel Boone is slinging it.
Yeah, but once Saquon's there and he's fully healthy and we know it, I would have picked them because the Cardinals stink. And Vance Joseph, coach defense, can't cannot check tight ends, and Ingram would have a great day. But Saquon's coming back. I don't know how fully healthy it is, so nah.
I mean, this is one of those games where I just close my eyes and put my finger on a team. I mean, the Giants very well could win this game, but
they could, man. Because like I said, Daniel, I'm gonna say his name right, Daniel Jones, man. I've seen his mechanics, and he's been putting the ball in some pretty good tight spots, man. If he has the protection.
Yeah, and then they have a little extra incentive because they look up at the top of the division and see that they're a game out of first place. As crazy as that sounds.
No, right?
So,
but my only thing is, man, is that I was going to pick the Cardinals because I like Cliff Kingsbury. I like his system, but he's having a hard time. Although Kyler Murray threw for over 300 some yards, man. But all right. So Chargers at the Titans. Who you got, B?
Chargers.
All right. I was thinking the Titans, but who you got, K, man?
Chargers. I saw the Titans up close. You can say whatever you want about Mariota, and it's probably right. But their offensive play calling is bad. I don't know who. This is just another guy they have calling plays, but he needs to go.
Is Derrick Henry hurt or something? How come you're not running Derrick Henry?
Exactly.
I won't say that. Because they don't know any better. I mean, Derrick Henry is probably one of the most, if not the most, underrated running backs in the NFL. I mean, you don't get very many Derrick Henrys.
Yeah, you don't.
I think the last comparable running back to Derrick Henry, I think, was Brandon Jacobs.
That's what I was gonna say.
With the Giants, just a rare combination of speed and size, and he's more of a running back than Brandon Jacobs was, because Brandon Jacobs he used to just run high. He ran too high. Derrick Henry he'll tuck and roll and run you over. Yeah, like he has a very good pad level for a taller running back. It's mind boggling why they don't run him more.
Derrick Henry, most of his runs were like between the tackles, man. He hit the hole and he's gone.
Yeah.
You got to get the right angle. If he bursts through the middle, you have to get the right angle to get him. But, all right.
Yep.
So, Ravens, this is going to be an interesting game too, man. Ravens at the Seahawks. Who you got, K, man?
That might be the game of the week.
Well, on CBS, yeah.
I'm going to take the Seahawks. Me and Sean kind of watched the Ravens game because of the local area that we're in. I did not like the offensive play calling last week for the Ravens. They ran Lamar Jackson way too much. And now the Seattle defense isn't as good, and they might do the same thing. But I still think that you're gonna have to throw in this game, and I like Russell in this game.
Who you got, B?
I'm taking the Ravens. I like the Ravens have a physical defense. They're not as good as I think they should be, but they have a physical defense, and as good as Seattle is playing, they're still susceptible to a good pass rush. And I think if you get pressure in Russell Wilson's face, like up the middle, like get pressure in his face, because they don't run the ball that well. I think I like the Ravens, man.
Yeah, and like the kid man was saying, man, we was watching that game. I kept saying, like, why are they running this dude so much? I said, they're going to get this dude hurt, which is going to mess up their playoff chances, because you know who their backup is, right?
Who?
RG3.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Bobby Three Sticks.
Oh, man. But I'm going to tell you, if the Ravens play calling is bad, the Ravens going to lose this game. If they're talking about trying to run Lamar Jackson every other down.
Yeah.
They're going to lose that game, I'm telling you. But, all right, this game is going to be on Fox. This is going to be Fox's game of the day. Or game of the week, I should say. The Saints at the Bears, man. Who you got, B?
The Saints.
Yeah, you know that. The only thing I'm concerned about is if Sean Payton goes in to check down Charlie, telling Teddy to check it down all the time. With the Bears, we got to establish a running game, number one. To offset Khalil Mack.
I think it's gonna be the opposite, because that's what they're gonna be expecting. Sean Payton's too smart for that. I think they're gonna go with the check down Charlie stuff, get him some easy stuff early on to open up the intermediate stuff and the screen game to Kamara. The last thing you want if you're the Bears is to have Leonard Floyd and Khalil Mack screaming off the edges, and Kamara's just floating out there for a screen. You know Sean Payton loves the screen. Yeah. He loves the screen. So the Bears got to be careful in this game. They got to be careful because they'll get screened to death. That's why I like the Saints. I like the coaching matchup.
Yeah.
For the Saints better than the Bears.
Who you got, K, man?
Is Alvin Kamara playing?
I think he is. Hang on, let me see. Let me look at my Saints app. Oh, look what come up the injury report. Let me see who's injured. Oh, Alvin Kamara might not play.
Uh-oh.
They say he has an ankle and a knee problem.
Yeah.
Jared Cook, our tight end, has an ankle problem. I don't know about that one, but I'm still picking the Saints. But B Wig might be on to something with the screen game. I think that might be the way to beat him. Who you picking, K?
I'm picking the Saints. But it's not like I'm picking the Saints. It's just like this is gonna be a slugfest because I don't think either offense is going to be ready to do anything. The reason why I hesitate is the Bears defense can actually score points, but I don't think Sean Payton's going to put Teddy in that position to. So yeah, let me give me the Saints.
Yeah, the only thing around that, man, I was looking at some of the Saints stats. Like the last 3 games, I think the Saints have averaged like maybe 22, 21 points a game. But of course, there's going to be a drop off, versus Teddy Bridgewater versus Drew Brees. Right. I get that, but the only good thing is our defense is like the second-ranked defense the way they're playing now. But
right.
We'll see what happens. All right, so, all right, K, man, I'll start with you on this one. Look, I give B Wig the last on this one. Eagles at the Cowboys. Who you got, K, man?
This is interesting because
now, well,
the Eagles
Hold on. Let me just go ahead and set the stage. There's a lot of implications in this game right here. Whole lot of implications. Whole lot on the line. Go ahead, K-Man.
The Eagles coach came out this week and said, we're going to go to Dallas and beat the Cowboys. And then was asked, so you're saying you're guaranteeing a victory? I never said that. I didn't say that. I'm going to go with the Eagles. Here's why. Sunday Night Football, the #1 television show in America the last 4 years. The lights are bright. And when the lights are bright, Jason Garrett goes into a corner. Give me the Eagles.
All right. Who you got, B?
The Eagles.
What?
Too many. We got too many. We have too many injuries. Too many injuries. Right tackle, left tackle. Even though Tyron Smith might play this game, Amari Cooper's hurt. Randall Cobb's hurt. Our 2 starting corners are hurt. So why would I pick the Cowboys, especially with the way we've been coached the last 3 weeks and the way we've been playing the last 3 weeks? No, I'm taking the Eagles.
But you're playing at home, B. Will.
I don't get it. I don't care. That doesn't mean a whole lot when you talk about the Cowboys. I mean, we talked about it a week or two, a couple weeks ago. How, when Jerry built that stadium, he built it for everybody, not just the Cowboys and Cowboys fans. There's enough room for everybody. So,
all right. So
I will say this though. Oh, go ahead, Sean.
Go ahead, K-Man.
You are missing your right tackle. You are missing your left tackle. But the Philadelphia Eagles do not have a pass rush.
Right.
They're missing their interior pass rush. That's why they got Malik Jackson. But he's out for the season with the Liz Frank. They stupidly traded Michael Bennett. And they have no pass rush to go along with a mediocre linebacking core and a rock bottom secondary.
All right.
Now, if Amari Cooper were to play,
yes,
and be actually 80-85%, then maybe I would say, the Eagles secondary is too overmatched for this matchup. But I mean, we're coming off a game where Michael Gallup dropped 3-4 easy balls. Yeah, I mean, the list goes on and on. I mean, can we win? Yeah, but I don't think we will.
All right. So B. Wig, I said I'm gonna give you the last word. They're gonna go to the Patriots and Jets. So
no, we can just bypass that right now. Patriots. Brandon.
B.
So who do you got in the game?
The Patriots.
All right.
Sean, who you got?
I'll go with Mono Jets.
Stop playing. Who do you got?
But B, this is my question to you, man. Since you're going against your team, if y'all lose this game, is it panic mode for the Cowboys, or are some heads going to roll?
No, they're not going to fire Jason Garrett midseason.
No.
As much as I want them to, they're not going to do it, because they're not going to admit mid-season that we should have did this 5 years ago. You talk to Stephen Jones, Jason Garrett's not on the hot seat. Talk to Jerry, a coaching change, it hasn't even entered into my thoughts, and he's telling the truth.
Mm-hmm.
They genuinely love this guy. They have given him 10 years and draft after draft after draft after draft after draft to succeed. I mean, they've given him every chance in every way you can give it, every way in the book that you can give a coach a chance to succeed. They've given it to him. And so, I mean, ain't no heads gonna roll, man. We can lose by 40. they're still not going to fire Jason Garrett. They're going to come up with an excuse. The injuries. We were missing a whole lot of people. That's going to be the word. That's going to be the story coming out of this game if we get blown out.
I'll make a prediction. At the end of the season, y'all fire Jason Garrett and they're gonna promote Kellen Moore head coach.
No, they're not.
No,
No, they're not.
I will leave that team if they promote Kellen Moore.
No, they're not.
To head coach.
No.
If they promote Kellen Moore over Chris Richard, if you're gonna promote somebody in house, promote Chris Richard to head coach. If not Chris Richard, look outside, look elsewhere. If they promote Kellen Moore, I say it here now. If they promote Kellen Moore to head coach after firing Jason Garrett, I will leave that team.
No, you're not.
All right, man.
But
I'm not. But it sounds like I mean it, right?
no. Only dysfunctional franchises make hasty decisions and their head coach in the middle of the season. They're not going to do that because technically they're not out of it.
Well, technically they're not.
Yeah, they're not out of it. So it's just like, and then they can use their excuses. Okay, once we get our right tackle back, once we get our left tackle back, once we get our wide receiver back, we can, we'll make that run. Speaking of wide receiver, remember we used to always say that Zeke was the straw that stirs the drink, and I still think he is. But the Cowboys offense didn't start to look dangerous until that trade for Amari.
Right.
And then Amari goes down. Now, we've had internal debates about what a quarterback is worth.
Here we go.
But I'm saying this. I know, beginning of the season, they were like, oh, there's no talks of extending Amari. He can wait till the end of the year. Y'all might need to change that. Because y'all might need to extend it. He ain't Julio money. He's not that. Or DeAndre Hopkins money. But the next tier down, yeah, he is that. And he is vital to that offense.
Yeah, without question. Because everybody, the way Gallup was balling the first 3 weeks of the season, everybody was like, man, we might have a 1A and a 1B, as far as receivers. Okay, Michael Gallup showed you Sunday why he's still a second-year player, still learning the position.
Yes.
I mean, passes were hitting him in the midst,
right,
like in front of his face.
That was the point.
And he was dropping balls. So yeah, I agree with you. We got to get Coop signed.
Unless you are Randy Moss or Jerry Rice or someone like that, it usually takes a receiver 2 to 3 years. Tight ends and receivers 2 to 3 years till you see the finished picture. I watched the Tony Gonzalez Football Life.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought Tony Gonzalez was great. I didn't know he stunk his first year and a half in the league.
Yeah.
Right. I did not know that. I did not know that. But yeah.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you, just like you said, B. When I was watching the Cowboys, I saw so many drop balls. I played wide receiver in high school, and I'm like, because I'm gonna tell you, man, I was on the fence about Dak, but I was okay. I said Dak's a pretty good quarterback. He's putting the ball right there where they can catch the ball. I said these dudes are just dropping the ball, and to me that goes back to fundamentals and practicing, because you're gonna play the way you practice.
Right. And I'll say this about Dak. Along with the drop passes, if you look at some of them, yeah, they're a little behind the receiver. Now, the ideal ball placement for a receiver is to have it in front of the eyes or in front of the chest. Yeah, they're having to reach back some, but you're getting two hands on the ball. You're a professional receiver. You've been doing this all your life. You're getting two hands on the ball. You're still dropping the ball. But I won't place 100% of the blame on the receivers because some of the balls have been behind them. Now, Michael Gallup wasn't the only one dropping passes on Sunday.
Right.
Jason Witten dropped a gimme. I think in the third quarter of that game. And to be honest with you, he looks like a wounded horse, man. Like,
wow, really?
He
a dude who retired and came back. You know, he was happy in Monday Night Football. He had his nice little toupee. He had the 3-piece suits.
I know, right?
Dude, he looks like he's like laboring to get down the field.
Yeah, the way he's running, he's running like this.
Yeah, like you when your legs are really heavy, you run with your shoulders. Like,
yeah, that's what like
your shoulders go up and down like that.
He runs like if Ricky would have survived that shot in Boys in the Hood.
Oh God.
That's how he runs. Ricky!
Oh my God.
I don't even know what to say to that, kid, man.
Oh man.
Oh
wow.
But you know what? That shows that he shouldn't have came back out of retirement running like that.
It wasn't just him. It wasn't just him. Jerry Jones was desperate. He was desperate to get him back because he thought he knew that Dak really relied heavily upon him, 4 or 5 yards from the line of scrimmage as a dump off option when he had no one else open. As minimal as that sounds, that stuff like that matters to a young developing quarterback when he knows he has somebody open, within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage.
But I'm gonna ask you this: why'd you get him? Why not get Jared Cook? Why not get Benjamin Watson?
Because when you hear Dallas Cowboys, you think of Jason Witten. You don't think look. You don't think logically. When your first name is Jerry, last name is Jones, you don't think logically like that. You think you think Jason Witten, Cowboys.
You know what I think of the Cowboys? You know what I think of the Cowboys? I also think of Roger Staubach. Am I bringing him out of retirement? Am I bringing Michael Irvin out of retirement? Jay Novacek?
But I'm just shedding light on Jerry Jones's thought process.
Stop living in the past.
He can't. That's why he won't.
And that's why they have not made it to the conference championship game since 1995.
Hey, look. The fact that Brandon said he can't, you know what that remind me of? The episode when Seinfeld was doing his show. He said, haven't you seen your parents' clothes? They got that 1970 style. They're just going to ride that all the way out until...
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right, man.
Yeah.
Parting shots. You go first, K-Man. What you got?
Parting shots. First parting shot, I want to wish Bryce Harper a happy birthday. And the last parting shot is Zach Brown.
Oh my God.
You, sir, you cannot come out and say what you said and then do nothing while the person that you said the things about just makes you and your team look like a fool. And then on top of that, you lose your job. That is my parting shot. Stay in your lane and keep your mouth shut.
Huggy Lowdown had a segment on the Donnie Simpson show called Bama of the Week.
Yeah.
Week.
Zach
Brown, you are the Bama of the week. Week. Oh man.
What's your parting shot, B?
For everybody that has written off the Dallas Cowboys, thank you. Because we are finished. We are finished. DeMarcus Lawrence has pulled off one of the greatest heists in modern day history. He got his bread, he got his money, and nobody's seen him since. 6 weeks.
I I've never seen a pass rusher constantly running into the right tackle or the left tackle. Not
Right.
around them, into them. I've never seen that before. He
No,
does
yes,
it
you have.
all.
Yes, you have. Ronaldo win.
Oh, yeah, Ronaldo.
But yeah,
Good times. Good times.
it-
Good times.
I know, 3 and 4 weeks from this point, yeah, we're still going to be technically in it probably, but let's be honest with ourselves. Jason Garrett, it all goes back to him. Do you know that Clapper high five or Jason Garrett couldn't even get his defense to high five him after they came off the field after the Jets kicked the game winning field goal?
Slap
Or
hand.
yeah,
Slap
what
hand.
proved to be the I didn't even think about that. But yeah, he was like Adam Sandler on the waterboard. Slap hands. And his defense was just running past him, man. It's over with, man. I'm mailing it in. I said last week that I was taking the Cowboys out of my NFC Super Bowl slot. I thought I had a team to put in that slot. I'm waiting another week. I'm in between 3 teams right now to put into that slot, but yeah, those are my parting shots.
Man, my party shot, man, I'm piggyback on what the kid man said. We got the Caps won something, the Mystics, they're going Nationals going to the World Series. Redskins 1-5. Need I say more?
And
Hopefully,
that's only because they play Miami.
And they almost lost.
that game. Yeah.
Look,
They almost lost.
Miami
You
lost
cannot
that
say-
game.
Go ahead.
Miami lost that game how we lost ours. Fell to 2 point.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. Then my last parting shot, man, is Michael Bennett. Y'all hear about this dude?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He had a philosophical
disagreement.
disagreement.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it had to do anything with football. I'm not sure. I didn't delve deep into it. But just to see that as a headline for a football player.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like a cover up. I don't think that they would suspend the dude for
No.
arguing over whose pizza is better between Domino's and Papa John's. I think it would take a little bit more than, Tesla electric cars are, highly more, suitable for Americans than the Dodge Challenger the Dodge Challenger Hellcat. I think it would take something a little more than that. I think it was something on the field, football related,
Yeah.
that they got
Yeah.
into.
But
And
you know what I think it was, man? I'm gonna tell y'all what I think it was, man. Them little bitty shoulder pads he wear. Somebody probably said, "Hey, man, you need to get some better shoulder pads." Tell
yeah,
you.
he does.
Yeah.
He's always looked like he played in practice shells.
Yeah. And he's a very headstrong player. And
Mhm.
that organization does not and they do not do headstrong. And then before that, he was with Philly, and that is almost a player empowerment type organization. So,
Right.
and then before that, he was in Seattle. So, that's a veteran, voicing his opinion in the hoodie, saying, "Boy, look at these rings.
I'm not having.
Mhm.
Sit in the corner.
Yeah.
Right.
One of these rings I got on y'all. Sit in that corner."
And I
Mhm.
bet you anything, Michael Bennett was like, "Look, man, I don't care who you are. You're not gonna talk to me like that."
Exactly.
Right. Exactly. Yep.
But your boy Hoodie was like, "Nah, I'm not having. I'm going to the top. Bob, we got to sit him down. He's got to
Mhm.
go."
But the Patriots are the type of team that would put out something like that, a philosophical disagreement. Yeah, right. Give me a break.
20 years of
Give me a
arrogance.
break.
20 years of arrogance. It's just 20 years of arrogance. That's how
Give
it
me a
is.
break, man. He said he got up in the defensive meeting and said Ragu's better than Prego. Okay.
No,
All right.
no. What he really probably said, B Wig, was that he got up and he said Velveeta's better than Kraft.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right, people.
All right, man.
I'm gonna go ahead and eat me one last piece of Popeye's chicken.
Way to be a
Love
stereotype.
that chicken from Popeyes.
Need to bring back the chicken sandwich, Popeyes. You hear it?
Oh, that's just.
Yeah. It
That's bad.
tasted good, but
I didn't taste it.
it tasted great going in. Coming out was a totally different story.
Yeah, it's a different story.
I didn't want to be that guy. Give me some chicken in the sandwich. No, I didn't want to be that guy.
Like Eddie Murphy said, you're going to have backdraft coming out of your drawers.
And on that note,
Stop.
no,
Stop recording.